Hello everybody, Ian back with another video. Today is just going to be a quick reading update. I finished, um, I finished a few books, but two of them I'm waiting for the library to show you guys. So we're going to probably get I'm going to pick those up tonight, and then maybe I'll film another video in the next couple of days to show those off. But I really want to talk about this one because I finished this one 2 days ago and absolutely loved it. The Ember Blade by Chris Wooding. He wrote the Tales of the Kitty J. It was like a cyberpunk sort of thing, steampunk, I should say, steampunk sort of series, 4-book series, and I really did enjoy those. This is his foray into fantasy. It is a planned 3-book trilogy. The Ember Blade, and then something. What was it called? The Shadow Casket, which I bought in the middle of that because I loved it so much. And then the 3rd book is coming, who knows when. He is actually working on it. I don't think it's going to be a George R. R. Martin situation. But yeah, so the Ember Blade is basically, it's your classic fantasy story where... But it's a trope that I love. Invading army comes and just conquers the realm, if you will. And the Ember Blade is the Oseans, or Oceans. I think it's Oseans. I don't know. The Oseans have been conquered by the Crodans. And the Oseans have this blade called the Ember Blade. And whoever controls the Ember Blade, basically, that is their symbol of, freedom and stuff like that. And the Crodans just took it. And so it's been 30 years under this rule, and we follow a young gentleman named Aaron. And stuff happens where he's all for the Crodans because he grew up in that world. And his parents are kind of like, they're indoctrinated kind of thing, but they're still kind of holding on to, like, we remember when we were free, basically, and not subhumans, because the Crodans are treating the Oseans like subhumans. So basically, it's just basically a story of revolution, which I love in a fantasy setting. A lot of fun. It had everything. It really did. I love it when you have a fellowship come together, people of opposing viewpoints and stuff like that, but they're going to come together to defeat the greater evil. And it had that stuff. So it was awesome. It was awesome. I cannot wait to get into the Shadow Casket, but I'm going to kind of tease myself a little bit because I don't know when that 3rd book is coming, and I don't want to be left hanging in case it ends on like a cliffhanger or something. But it is coming. He is actually working on it, supposedly. All right. In between those books, in between those 2 books that I'm going to be reading, I read the first of this series before, and it was all right. It was okay. But people have been talking about this, so I wanted to jump back into it. I think I did read the second part too, the second story in this series, but I just for some reason just didn't continue. I don't know what's going on. But you know what? People have been talking about this a lot, so I decided I picked them all up on Kindle now, because the library wait for these books are very long. So I decided, you know what? I spent $40. I got them all. I got all 8 books. If you guys know what I'm talking about, and I'm going to try it again. It is, you guessed it, Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman. I am about halfway into the 1st book right now, and I'm still, the lit RPG stuff, I haven't read a whole lot, and I don't know if it's my thing, but part of me is enjoying this, and I've heard they get better, so yeah. But I bought them all because there is like a 6 months wait on the library for these, and I didn't want to read one book and then I'd forget everything that happened in that book before I jumped in the next book. So I decided I bought them all on Kindle, and I can just go at them right after another. But yeah, so we have that. So that is my current main read, is that. I am still working my way through George R. R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire series. 242 pages into A Clash of Kings. You know, I read this right before bed, a few pages. This is going to take me a while. Just there's no rush. I mean, it's not going to get finished. But you know what? In case it does, I'll be ready for it. You know, I'll be in book like 3, but you know, whatever. So I'm just kind of picking away at this. And then I decided I needed to get, when I have to charge my Kindle, because my Kindle, it's older, it doesn't last as long. So when I charge my Kindle, I decided I wanted a fantasy, a thick fantasy stuff to stick my teeth into. Of course, George R. R. Martin, but that's just before bed. That's a book to put me to sleep. So I decided, this has been sitting on my shelf for a while. This is Pamela Freeman's The Castings Trilogy. Not 100% sure what this is about, but the first one is Blood Ties. Blood Ties? Blood Ties. If you've heard anything about this, let me know. But this sounded like a classic fantasy story that I can get behind. So I'm going to go ahead. I found that at the library for $2. And I got 3 books, and it's pretty thick. It's a whole trilogy. That's what I got. All right, everybody. That's what I got. Take care.